These questions are deeply related to your daughter's condition. I must inform you that your 10-year-old daughter is pregnant. Diana's mother was stunned, unable to believe what she was hearing. She kept repeating, "There must be some mistake. This is impossible. My daughter is only 10 years old. She isn't even old enough to be married." Diana was sitting at home, crying. She absolutely didn't want to go to school because she was experiencing severe stomach pain. She couldn't muster the courage to tell her mother that she didn't want to attend school that day. Diana's mother came up to her, called her gently, and asked, "What's the matter, Diana?" "Why are you crying?" Diana replied, "I don't want to go to school today. My stomach is hurting badly. I can't go to school today." Her mother said, "Why do you keep refusing to go to school every day? If you continue to miss school like this, your studies will be severely affected." Diana replied, "Please give me a chance for today. I won't miss school again." Dear friends, Diana became pregnant at the age of 10, and if you come to know the reason behind this, you will be utterly shocked. Diana faced an incident in her life that she could never have imagined. Today, I'll share with you an unbelievable story about what happened to Diana, a story that will leave you completely stunned. Those of you who have young children in your family must watch this video from beginning to end, without skipping. Before we continue, like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. So dear friends, let's hear the unbelievable story of what happened in Diana's life. Diana was the only daughter of her parents. She studied at a reputed school in America. While studying there, she developed a very close relationship with one of her teachers. That teacher often bought her chocolates and ice cream. Diana would become very happy eating the ice cream and chocolates and enjoyed chatting with that teacher. At first, Diana's family viewed this as something very normal. However, hidden behind this were some secret mysteries that Diana's family later came to know about. Diana's mother used to drop her off at school every day and pick her up after school. One day, when Diana's mother went to pick her up from school, she found that Diana wasn't there. Everyone else was taking their children home, but Diana was nowhere to be found. Diana's mother stood there in shock and began waiting for her. She kept searching for Diana repeatedly, but there was no sign of her. Suddenly, a teacher came out from inside and asked, "Who are you waiting for?" Diana's mother replied, "I'm waiting for my daughter, Diana." The teacher then said, "Diana has gone out with one of our teachers." Hearing this, Diana's mother was stunned and asked, "Why did Diana go out? School is over, and I'm here to pick her up. Why has she gone out? This is unbelievable." After waiting for a short while, Diana suddenly returned to the front of the school with that teacher. Seeing this, Diana's mother was utterly surprised. She asked the teacher, "Where did you take my daughter?" The teacher replied, "I just took her to a nearby shop to buy her some ice cream." The teacher then engaged in a lengthy conversation with Diana's mother. Diana's mother realized that he seemed to be a kind-hearted person who genuinely cared for her daughter. She then invited the teacher to visit their home someday. The teacher responded, "Of course, I'll visit your home, but not today. I'll come some other day." After speaking with the teacher, Diana's mother took her daughter and headed home. On the way, she asked Diana, "Where did you go with your teacher?" Diana replied, "I went to a shop with him to buy ice cream. Sir often buys me ice cream and chocolates. He never buys anything for the other girls in class, only for me. He also takes great care of me." Hearing this, Diana's mother was once again surprised. She couldn't understand why the teacher was so affectionate toward her daughter, while ignoring the other students. A question lingered in her mind. Does he truly care for my daughter as if she were his own child? Or is there something else behind his actions? This thought deeply troubled her. As they walked, Diana and her mother eventually reached home. Diana's mother decided to call her husband and told him to come home early in the evening because she needed to discuss something important. When Diana's father returned home that evening, her mother took him to the garden in front of their house to talk privately. Diana's father asked, "What's the matter? You said you wanted to discuss something urgent." Diana's mother replied, "I've been feeling very uneasy about something." Diana's father asked, "What is it? Why are you so worried?" Diana's mother explained, "Diana's school teacher, Jason, seems to take excessive care of her. He buys her ice cream and chocolates and sometimes even juices. I just can't get this out of my head. Why does he only buy these things for my daughter and not for anyone else? I simply don't understand his intentions." Diana's father responded, "This seems normal. Maybe he really likes your daughter and cares for her like his own child. That's probably why he buys her these things. What's there to worry about?" Diana's mother replied, It's natural to worry about a daughter, isn't it? We must keep an eye on her and not trust anyone blindly. After all, we can't know what thoughts or intentions someone might have. That's why I'm concerned about my daughter. Diana's father said, "You're not entirely wrong, but Diana's teacher doesn't seem like a bad person who would harm her." Diana's father had great trust in her teacher Jason. Based on this trust, he thought it would be a good idea to have Jason tutor Diana privately at home. He decided that Jason should be asked to teach Diana at home. Diana's father told her mother, "Tomorrow, you should go to the school and ask Mr. Jason Sir if he can tutor Diana privately at home. If necessary, I'm willing to pay him a generous amount each month. Since he cares so much for our daughter, I believe her studies will improve greatly if he teaches her at home." Diana's mother agreed, saying, "All right, I'll talk to him tomorrow and see if he's willing." The next morning, as Diana was getting ready for school, her mother also hurried to prepare. She knew it was time to drop Diana off at school. Calling out to her daughter, she said, "Diana, get ready quickly. I'm almost ready too. It's time to leave for school." Once they were both ready and had finished their breakfast, they headed straight to the school. At school, Diana's mother met Mr. Jason and asked, "Would you be able to tutor Diana privately at our home? If you agree, you can start coming to our house tomorrow evening to teach her. My husband will pay you whatever you request every month. Since you care so much for Diana and treat her like your own child, we believe that having someone like you as her tutor will help her achieve great results." Jason smiled slightly and replied, "Of course, I'd be happy to tutor Diana. I'll come to your house tomorrow evening and start teaching her every day." Hearing this, Diana's mother was overjoyed and said, "All right, sir, I'll head home now and return to pick Diana up after school. We'll be expecting you at our house from tomorrow to start tutoring her. This is final." Jason reassured her, saying, "All right, don't worry about this. I'll visit your house tomorrow and start tutoring Diana from then onward." After speaking with Jason, Diana's mother left the school and returned home. At noon, when Diana's father came home for lunch, he spoke to Diana's mother about the matter. They discussed it while eating. Diana's mother said, "I spoke to Jason today. He has agreed to tutor Diana, and he will start coming to our house from tomorrow evening. I believe that if Diana studies under Jason, she will achieve excellent results. Since Diana is very intelligent, she has the potential to become one of the best students in her school." Diana's father replied, "You're absolutely right. We have many dreams for our daughter, and we want her to fulfill those dreams." As they continued their conversation, they finished their meal. Afterward, Diana's father left the house. He was a businessman and owned a prestigious restaurant in the city. He headed toward the restaurant to oversee its operations. It was almost time for Diana's school to end, so her mother hurried to pick her up. When she reached the school, she saw students leaving as their classes ended. Parents stood outside, waiting for their children. Diana's mother joined them, waiting for her daughter. However, to her surprise, she couldn't find Diana anywhere. Feeling anxious, she stood there, searching everywhere, but couldn't spot her daughter. Suddenly, she noticed Diana walking toward the school, holding Jason's hand. Diana was drinking a fruit juice as they approached. Surprised, Diana's mother asked Jason, "Where did you take Diana?" Jason replied, "Diana kept insisting she wanted a fruit juice, so I took her to a nearby shop to get one." Diana's mother responded, "All right, thank you. By the way, do you remember about tomorrow?" Jason smiled and said, "Of course, I remember. I'll come to your house from tomorrow evening to tutor Diana." Diana's mother smiled and said, "Yes, that's right." She then took Diana and headed home. In the evening, Diana and her mother sat in the garden in front of their house, chatting. Suddenly, Diana said, "Mom, do you know how much Jason cares for me? Every day after school, he takes me to the shop and buys me juice." Her mother replied, "Yes, I know. That's why I've arranged for him to be your private tutor. From tomorrow, he will come every evening to teach you at home." Hearing this, Diana became even happier and said, "All right, Mom, you've made a great decision for me. Jason is a very kind person, and he really cares for me." Dear friends, Jason continued visiting Diana's house every day to tutor her privately. Diana and Jason would sit in a separate room for the lessons, while Diana's mother remained busy with household chores. Each day, Jason taught for an hour. Days passed uneventfully, until one day, Diana and her mother faced an unbelievable incident that left them shocked. When Diana's father heard about it, he too was stunned. One morning, Diana began complaining of severe abdominal pain. "Mom, my stomach hurts a lot," she kept saying. Her stomach appeared visibly swollen, which left her mother deeply worried. Diana pleaded, "Mom, please bring me some medicine." The pain is unbearable. Her mother, alarmed, immediately took Diana to a nearby hospital. Once there, she searched for a female doctor, considering it more appropriate to consult a woman for her daughter's condition. After some searching, she found a reputed female doctor and brought Diana to her. Diana's mother explained the situation to the doctor, saying, "My daughter has been experiencing severe stomach pain since this morning. Her stomach is unusually swollen. Could you please examine her and tell us what might be causing this pain?" The doctor carefully observed Diana's condition and noticed the swelling. She then told Diana's mother, "We need to perform an ultrasound to determine what's going on inside her stomach." Hearing the mention of an ultrasound, Diana froze in shock. She couldn't understand why such a test was necessary. Diana's mother, however, urged the doctor, saying, "Please arrange for the ultrasound immediately. I cannot bear to see my daughter suffer. She is our only child, born after 5 years of marriage. Both my husband and I love her dearly. Since morning, she has been crying from the pain. Please don't delay. Conduct the ultrasound now and find out what's causing this." The doctor nodded in agreement and prepared for the test. Then, Diana was taken to the ultrasound room, where she was gently made to lie down on a bed. The female doctor carefully began conducting the ultrasound, paying close attention to the images on the screen. Suddenly, the doctor froze. Her expression shifted to disbelief as she stared at the screen and then at Diana's swollen stomach. Diana, growing anxious, asked repeatedly, "Madam, what's wrong with me? Why am I in so much pain?" The doctor didn't respond directly, but instead called Diana's mother aside, saying, "I need to speak with you privately. It's something I cannot discuss in front of your daughter." Diana's mother, already distressed, followed the doctor into another room. Once there, the doctor hesitated before asking, "Are you ready to hear something shocking about your daughter? It's an unbelievable matter, and I need to know if you're prepared." Terrified, Diana's mother asked, "Madam, why are you saying this? Does my daughter have a serious illness?" The doctor replied, "Your daughter doesn't have any illness. But what I'm about to tell you is something I believe you're not prepared to hear." Diana's mother pleaded, "Please tell me quickly, what has happened to my daughter?" The doctor began with a few questions. "How old is your daughter?" Diana's mother replied, "She's only 10 years old." The doctor then asked, "Who lives in your household? Are there any other people living with you besides you, your husband, and your daughter?" Diana's mother answered, "No, it's just the 3 of us." The doctor continued, "Does your daughter spend time with any male friends? Does she go out to play or visit someone else's house frequently?" Diana's mother replied, "No, my daughter doesn't have any male friends, nor does she go out to play or visit anyone's house." Growing suspicious, Diana's mother asked, "Madam, why are you asking all these questions? What does this have to do with my daughter's stomach pain?" The doctor took a deep breath and replied, "These questions are deeply related to your daughter's condition. I must inform you that your 10-year-old daughter is pregnant." Diana's mother was stunned, unable to believe what she was hearing. She kept repeating, "There must be some mistake. This is impossible. My daughter is only 10 years old. She isn't even old enough to be married. How could she possibly be pregnant?" The doctor calmly replied, "I understand your disbelief, but there is no mistake. The ultrasound clearly shows that your daughter is pregnant. She is carrying a baby in her womb." Diana's mother stood frozen, her mind racing to make sense of the doctor's words. The doctor continued, "That's why I asked you all these questions about your family and surroundings. I don't know who your daughter has been involved with, but clearly she has had an illicit relationship with someone. It's likely not a one-time incident. Rather, it seems to have happened repeatedly, leading to her pregnancy." Diana's mother couldn't accept the doctor's explanation, but when the doctor showed her the ultrasound report, there was no room left for doubt. Overwhelmed, she asked, "I truly have no idea how this happened. I don't understand why my daughter is pregnant. Now that this has happened, is there any way to resolve this? Can the baby be aborted?" The doctor replied solemnly, "At this stage, terminating the pregnancy would endanger your daughter's life. The fetus is already 4 months old. It's too late for any safe abortion. You must wait until a child is born. Until then, her health must be monitored closely." Desperate, Diana's mother asked, "What should I do now to keep my daughter healthy?" The doctor advised, "Feed her nutritious meals, fruits, and ensure she receives proper care. Your daughter needs utmost attention during this time. It's also important that you talk to her calmly about what happened. Ask her who is responsible for this without scolding or pressuring her. Be patient, and you will uncover the truth." The doctor prescribed some medications and said, "Take her home and make sure she takes these regularly." Returning home with Diana, her mother tried to compose herself. But as soon as they arrived, Diana began questioning her. "Mother, what's wrong with me? Why am I being given so much medicine? What did the doctor say that she couldn't tell me directly? Do I have some serious illness?" Her mother replied, "No, you don't have any serious illness, but something has happened that I need to discuss with you in detail." Diana became curious. "What is it, Mother? Please tell me." Taking a deep breath, her mother asked gently, "Diana, are you friends with any boys? Have you spent time alone with anyone?" Diana, visibly confused, replied, "No, Mother, I've never even spoken to a boy, let alone been friends with one. Why are you asking me this?" Her mother hesitated, but Diana's growing concern forced her to finally ask, "Diana, can you tell me if anything unusual has happened to you, something you haven't shared with me?" Diana's mother then told her, "You are pregnant. You are a pregnant girl." Hearing this, Diana was shocked. Even after hearing such a thing from her mother, she couldn't believe her words, as she had no knowledge of such matters. Diana repeatedly said, "Mom, don't joke with me. How could I be pregnant? I am only 10 years old. This is absolutely impossible." Her mother replied, "Yes, dear, it's possible. Just as it seems impossible to you, it seemed impossible to us too. Even the doctor couldn't believe it. But what has happened, and the truth is, you are indeed pregnant. Look at your pregnancy report." Seeing the report, Diana realized that it was true. She was indeed pregnant. Diana sat there and started crying. She couldn't understand why such an incident had happened to her. It was such an unbelievable event that she couldn't even share it with anyone. However, her mother was deeply worried about how to inform her husband about the situation. She was anxious, thinking about what her husband would say. If he found out that their only beloved daughter was pregnant, he might completely lose his temper. But it wasn't her fault at all. Diana's mother began to think about whether she should tell her husband or not. After much thought, she decided that she must inform him. If she didn't tell him now, and Diana's belly grew larger, he would eventually find out on his own. And at that time, he might scold her even more, or even throw her out of the house. So it was better to tell him now. In the evening, when her husband returned home, she took him to a separate room to talk privately. She began by saying, "Dear husband, I am going to tell you something today that I have never told you before, and I could never imagine that I would have to tell you this so soon. What I am about to tell you is so astonishing that it will leave you speechless, and I beg you, please do not blame me for this. I had no knowledge of it." Diana's father replied, "Just tell me what it is. How can I understand if you don't tell me first?" Diana's mother then said, "Our only beloved daughter, Diana, is pregnant." Hearing this, Diana's father was utterly shocked. He kept asking his wife, "Are you joking with me?" She replied, "No, dear husband, I am telling you the truth. Today I took Diana to the doctor. She had been crying all morning because of stomach pain. When I took her to the doctor, he decided to perform an ultrasound to check her abdomen. After the ultrasound, it was revealed that she is pregnant. That's why she was experiencing stomach pain. However, after the ultrasound report came back, the doctor himself was astonished, and I was utterly shocked as well. Look at ultrasound report confirms that our only beloved daughter is pregnant." Diana's parents were deeply troubled by this revelation. They couldn't understand why such an incident had happened to their daughter or how she had ended up in this situation. They were desperate to uncover the truth behind this shocking event. Despite thinking and analyzing thoroughly, they couldn't find any clue. Everything seemed normal to them. Yet how could Diana have become pregnant at such a young age? Diana was called again to stand before her father. Standing in front of him, Diana began crying. Her father asked, "Diana, how could you let this happen? Why did you bring such shame upon us? If the people in our community find out that you are pregnant, we won't be able to face them. People will mock us and ridicule us. They will look down on us and say that we failed as parents, that we ruined our child ourselves." Diana, with tears streaming down her face, replied, "Father, I swear I know nothing about this." Her parents questioned her further, trying to get to the bottom of the issue, but Diana had no answers. She stood quietly, listening to her parents, and kept repeating, "I really don't know anything about it." At this point, Diana's mother said to her husband, "Why don't you talk to the police about this? Maybe they can investigate and find out what really happened and why our daughter ended up in this state." Diana's father replied, "If we involve the police now, and they come to investigate, everyone around us will find out about this. Then we won't be able to show our faces in society anymore." Diana's mother responded, "If you don't look into this matter and inform the police now, you might face an even bigger problem in the future. No matter how hard you try to hide this from people, the truth will eventually come out. It's better to seek police help now and find the person responsible for this terrible act against our daughter." After much thought, Diana's father decided that he must speak with the police and seek their assistance in uncovering the truth. So, Diana's father went directly to the police station. Upon arriving, he began talking to the police. He fully described the incident that had happened with his daughter. After hearing the story, the police were shocked and they immediately set out to investigate. The police went to Diana's school and began questioning everyone there. However, no one could provide any useful information. One female teacher at the school told the police, "I can only tell you that Diana has a very close relationship with our school's Mr. Jason. Perhaps Jason can help you with this." Then Jason was called in. When he was questioned about the matter, Mr. Jason became very nervous. The police noticed that Jason to be weak, frightened, and visibly scared, which made them suspicious. They decided to take him to the police station. At the police station, Mr. Jason was interrogated. Initially, he refused to admit any guilt. However, when he was taken into remand, the fear of the situation made him confess all his wrongdoings. He confessed that he would take Diana to the shop every day and buy her ice cream, juice, and chocolates. He would mix sleeping pills in her juice and give it to her. When he went to her house to tutor her privately, he would sometimes bring fruit juice, which he mixed with sleeping pills, and make Diana drink it. Once she fell asleep, he would do inappropriate things with her. This is why Diana became pregnant at such a young age. After uncovering the truth, the police sentenced Mr. Jason to 14 years in prison. It was also made clear that if any harm came to Diana's child during childbirth, Mr. Jason would be held fully responsible. After Diana received the necessary care and attention, the time for her childbirth eventually arrived. If you enjoyed this story, kindly give us a like and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so. See you in the next video.